Welcome to Mary Queen Stories, the official podcast of Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary Parish in Lexington, Kentucky. Our mission is to receive God's love, proclaim the greatness of the Lord, serve joyfully, and make missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. I'm your host, Jennifer Longworth, Communications and Parish Life Coordinator at Mary Queen. And today's guest is Martha Kasher, one of our power volunteers here at Mary Queen. How are you this morning?
I am doing great, Jennifer. It's already been a busy morning.
Yeah, you've been helping in the parish office this morning, right?
I have. It seems like that there's always just a little bit of something that needs to be done in the office, whether it's the school office or the church office. There's always something extra that they are needing to get done for that morning. So that's what I've been doing this morning.
Tell me a little bit about your background and how you got involved in helping so much at Mary Queen and where you came from.
Well, I would guess that where I came from is certainly having a big impact. When I was growing up, my mom was the church secretary and bookkeeper. And then my dad was very active there. He was a deacon. This was at Madisonville First Christian Church. So I kind of grew up running the church halls. That impact certainly planted the seed for me that there's always something that's needing to be done in the church or for other people. So that's just a little bit of that background.
So how'd you get to Mary Queen?
Well, I would have to say it started actually with my husband, who came with his family when he was 7-8 years old, and they became parishioners here at Mary Queen. Now, fast ahead to, I guess, late 20s, early 30s, I met my husband, Bob. He was living in Parish, Kentucky at the time. Fast ahead to retirement in 2011, my husband and I just decided, well, the Lord wants us to be in Lexington. And as we were visiting different churches here in Lexington, Mary Queen just seemed to be the place for us to be because it was friendly, it was welcoming, and as we started talking about it, we realized, this is where my husband grew up. So that became, well, that's where we're going to be. So we moved back to Lexington in 2011 and have been active members here at Mary Queen ever since. And, you know, the priests are always, I guess, trying to get people involved. And yes, they pulled on some strings for us to get a little bit more involved over the past years.
So it's not just office help that you help with around here. You have your tentacles in lots of different places. So what all are you helping with around Mary Queen?
Back in 2015, Father Dan at the time was asking us to try to help with a family who came from Uganda. And there was a mom and 8 children. And that volunteer experience certainly gave a lot of opportunity to meet many others in the church and to find other needs in the church. From there, started getting involved with something a little bit unusual, but it's what I did at work. It was called utility tracking. Utility tracking is just simply looking at the electric and gas and looking at water a little bit and how we're using it and if we're being good stewards of the resources that we have with our utilities. The Facilities Committee does periodically look at all of that to try to identify, okay, do we have any potential issues starting up? Also, as we are needing to upgrade some of our facilities, you know, they consider the energy use and payback on implementing different projects. One thing I'm really proud of the school at is that since 2016, they really do keep an eye on how much energy they're using in electric and gas. And they were Energy Star in 2016. And because of the bishop's push for Laudato Si, Mary Queen School has again entered all of our data into what's called Energy Star. The school, at some point here in the next few weeks, months, will be celebrating being awarded another Energy Star School Award. So, all of that is just keeping our eye on what it is that we're doing and using.
So that's something in Mary Queen that people don't necessarily see or think about, but your background kind of led you to that, and it's like, oh, well, this is something I know how to do. So for people who listen, like, I don't want to be in the front, I don't want people to see me, but I, have some background that might help in places like utility.
It's kind of an odd thing. But now, there's anything that you can think of that is needed in a business. Well, it's probably also needed right here at Mary Queen. I'm also thinking about the different ways that I've met other people here at church to certainly enrich life and enrich, our church life. I've met a number of people, I guess you'd say, in grounds maintenance, whether it be watering some of the flowers or trees or raking leaves. There's always something that needs to be done. I know with fall coming up, we're going to have a lot of leaves to contend with and trying to keep away from the front doors. So I would bet that our grounds crews will be needing some additional volunteers this fall really soon.
Yeah. So what else you got going on, Martha?
I guess besides being on the facilities committee for a number of years, I've also recently been out of my comfort zone in being on the finance committee. Now, there's a lot of information to always go through with the finance committee. I know that there's going to be a real opportunity for new finance committee members very soon. So please also consider that.
So what type of person would make a good finance council member?
I think a good finance committee member would have a little bit of background in accounting, CPA, bookkeeping. But that does not mean that if you do not have that background, that you can't help to look at the information presented here in the monthly reports and, give your observation, because as I am reminded from time to time that just having an eye just to look at and ask questions is very helpful. And you can ask questions whether you are a CPA, accountant, or having any finance background.
So what would you tell someone who's sitting in the pew right now and we're doing ministry invitation weekends and they need, we would like to get them involved? I heard a statistic recently that only 7% of a parish actually gets involved. So how do we increase that number?
Wow. If you are sitting there with just thinking about, well, do I know anyone else here in church? Am I excited to come to church? Well, what I would certainly encourage you to do is get involved in doing something at the church. Again, in 2015, that little project from Father Dan helped me to meet so many other people here at church. And that does make it fulfilling. When we're doing the Lord's work and giving, well, guess what? You do end up receiving as well. And I think the receiving part for me has been the additional relationships, getting to know people here at church, and looking how to spread God's love, because I think that's a big part of what we are all here for. And by getting involved, you're doing just that. You're spreading God's love.
So that takes us to our mission statement. What I'm going to repeat for you, and then just let us know which phrase kind of resonates with you the most. So the mission of Mary Queen is to receive God's love, proclaim the greatness of the Lord, serve joyfully, and make missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. So Martha Casher, which one of those resonates with you?
Oh, I guess I'm going to have to say to serve joyfully. It feels like that, I'm not going to really get involved in doing something that I don't enjoy, but boy, serving joyfully here at Mary Queen has been wonderful. I thank Father Dan for getting us really involved back in 2015.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Martha, and we'll see you around the office.
Thank you, Jennifer. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you for listening to Mary Queen Stories. To connect with us, visit mqhr.org/podcast. Until next time, and always, Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary, pray for us.